Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Kent Lutzen. Western Montana saw some snow and rainfall over the weekend, but this is expected to move out overnight and leave a dry and chilly start to the work week. Let's go to meteorologist Russ Thomas for more on weather. Russ.
We're kind of over this rain, this snow mix that we saw, and it generally was snow, but it was just so wet out there, and again, a little bit of it stuck to the ground. Now it is just about gone, and what we're going to see is snow showers moving out, eventually clouds moving out as well, heading toward a dry week. However, it is going to be pretty chilly out there. In fact, downright cold at night. The days will be chilly. And we'll get to more of that in a little bit. Right now, 29 Sealy, 26 in Phillipsburg, also 26 in Sula. We've got a few low to mid 30s out there as well. And again, coming up in just a few minutes, we'll take a look at that complete forecast. Let you know what to expect as you head out the door for the work week.
One woman is dead after a single vehicle crashed just south of Dillon on Highway 15 late last night. Montana Highway Patrol said the victim was a 24-year-old female from Idaho Falls who was driving northbound when her vehicle drifted off the left side of the road. She then overcorrected and the vehicle rolled multiple times, according to MHP. Officials say the woman was wearing a seatbelt but died due to chest, neck, and head injuries. MHP told MTN News that drug and speed are suspected in this crash. The incident is still under investigation. Montana Highway Patrol reports this crash is the 173rd fatal of the year. And trial is set to begin tomorrow for the man accused in the strangulation and burning death of a Crow Agency woman last year. 19-year-old Demarzio Sanchez will be tried in U.S. District Court in Billings on one count of first-degree murder for the death of Roy Lynn Ridehorse. Prosecutors plan to use the victim's so-called dying declaration at trial, but defense attorneys argue the dying words should not apply because the victim didn't know she would ultimately die. Ridehorse was beaten during a ride home with Sanchez and 4 other people in April of 2016. When the vehicle stopped, Ridehorse was dragged from the car and strangled. Prosecutors say Sanchez ordered the others to strip the victim before he doused her in gasoline and set her on fire. Ridehorse was hospitalized with third-degree burns for 2 months before her death. 2 co-defendants of Sanchez have already pleaded guilty to lesser charges. The case is expected to go to the jury on Thursday. And in national news, the president says the FBI is in tatters. On Sunday, Mr. Trump responded on Twitter to reports that an FBI agent was removed from special counsel Robert Mueller's team investigating the election. Laura Podesta reports from New York.
President Trump is slamming the Federal Bureau of Investigation. On Twitter Sunday, he wrote the agency is the worst in history and retweeted that the FBI director, quote, needs to clean house. The president was responding to reports that a veteran FBI counterintelligence agent was removed from the team investigating Russian election meddling. That agent was discovered sending anti-Trump text messages.
I would just say this to the president. There's an ongoing criminal investigation. Comey may be part of it. You tweet and comment regarding ongoing criminal investigations at your own peril. I'd be careful if I were you, Mr. President.
That warning from a Republican comes as the ranking Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee says her panel's investigation into President Trump's campaign and possible Russian collusion is also progressing.
The Judiciary Committee has an investigation going as well. And it involves obstruction of justice. And I think what we're beginning to see is the putting together of a case of obstruction of justice.
Senator Dianne Feinstein said evidence for that case is coming partly from the continual tweets from the White House. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
On Friday, President Trump's former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn pleaded guilty to lying to federal investigators and said he is cooperating with investigators looking into Russia meddling in last year's election. In Alabama, special Senate election is a little over a week away. While many believe the race is a toss-up, a new CBS poll puts Republican Roy Moore ahead of the Democratic nominee Doug Jones, 49% to 43%. It also found that 71% of Alabama Republicans think the sexual misconduct allegations against Moore are false. CBS's David Begnaud reports from Birmingham.
At the Pelham Diner in Shelby County, Alabama, we met Penny Lloyd, who told us that despite the allegations against Judge Roy Moore, she will vote for him.
He is the lesser of two evils.
Was there ever a hesitation?
No, not after he won the primary, no. I recognized it as a railroad job, a hit job, pretty quickly.
Penny's husband is George Lloyd, he too is voting for Moore.
I believe that it's very possible that all of the women could be absolutely truthful. But on the other hand, I think it's very possible that the other camp could have motivated a lot of women to do and say what they're saying.
Kayla Smith says her decision is based on policies.
There are a few of Roy Moore's that I agree with, but I think Doug Jones hits more of my priorities.
Have the allegations against Mr. Moore turned you off?
I feel in the middle about them. Personally, I am one to definitely believe a woman if she says that she was sexually assaulted, but for it to come out so far later, I feel like that is very weird.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has said in the past that he believes Roy Moore's accusers and he thinks Moore should step aside. But today, McConnell said he thinks the people of Alabama should decide. There's another U.S. Senator from Alabama. His name is Richard Shelby, and he's already voted absentee. He did not vote for Roy Moore. Instead, the senator says he wrote in the name of another Republican. David Begnaud, CBS News, Birmingham, Alabama.
In Missoula, a sea of people filled the seats at the University of Montana's Denison Theater for the Missoula Symphony Holiday Pops concert today. MTN's Lauren Heiser brings us some of the holiday sounds. Let's take a listen.
The Missoula Symphony Holiday Pops concert has been a tradition in Missoula for 18 years now, and it's such a special concert, and we enjoy great support by the community. I don't know if we have plans to add a fourth performance yet at this point, but we're just thrilled that Missoula has come out in such large numbers to support the Missoula Symphony, and especially at this time of year.
And speaking of Christmas music and the holiday spirit, KPAX is proud to partner with First Security Bank and Glacier Banks for our annual holiday food drive. Just drop off your non-perishable food donations at any First Security Bank location in Missoula or Glacier Bank in Northwest Montana. All your food donations stay right here in Western Montana. With roughly 10% of Montanans being former veterans, dealing with post-traumatic stress is a pressing issue. MTN's Dono Lakatua sat in on a jam session with the Hero Sound Project, a group of vets who meet weekly to help mend the mind through music.
In 2016, Montana lost 53 veterans to suicide. In the basement of the Zootown Arts Community Center, music is helping to heal the psychological wounds of war. Clinton Decker is an Iraq war veteran who had an idea to help those struggling with the trauma.
Because when I'm playing guitar, nothing else really matters. I was sitting there playing and it just kind of hit me one day. It's like, this is really powerful stuff. It's really helping me.
Decker is the founder of the Hero Sound Project, a therapy group that brings veterans together to jam out every week.
This has proven to be invaluable. It's been a great stress relief. It's great for camaraderie. We just come here and have fun. There's no expectations. Anybody can come and play. Doesn't matter if you know how to play an instrument or not, we'll teach you.
Guys might walk in the door, and might not be having a very great day, but usually by halfway through, everybody's loosened up and enjoying themselves and shrugged off whatever it is they've brought in.
When the project was started 2 years ago, it was limited to meeting only in the back of the VFW bar.
One of the things that was mentioned to me, and it had already been an issue that I had been thinking about, is, we're in the back of the bar. I want this to be a legitimate therapeutic program. We got to get out of the bar.
The basement of the ZAC seems to be a perfect fit for the project, as Decker stressed the importance of a drug and alcohol-free environment. Another way they are legitimizing the project is raising money to file their 501c papers, which would allow them to become a nonprofit organization. Now, Decker hopes that over the long winter months, him and the guys can grind and hone their skills so that, come spring, they can book a couple of gigs and let veterans know that they are not alone. Reporting in Missoula, Donal Wakatua for MTN News.
Every Thursday at the Zach Basement, pardon me, I'm going to say that one more time. The Hero Sound Project meets every Thursday at the Zach Basement. They extend an open invitation to all veterans who want to take their mind off the daily grind. If you'd like to help, search Hero Sound Project on Facebook. And coming up after the break, we had some snow and rainfall over the last 24 hours, but that's expected to change. Meteorologist Russ Thomas will be in with your work week forecast right after this.